There is one thing that a client nor a person will ever reject. I don't care who they are. When you direct people to walk in the character and the integrity and not compromise who they are, there is an acceptance that immediately happens. Talk about relationships. And that is part of how we built this business, is that we have not compromised, which has built bigger and better relationships. Never leave the foundation. When you make a decision that leaves your foundation, you're always going to sink. My name is Lisa Gardner, and I'm the CEO of OMS Strategic Advisors, and now the host of the Uncompromise podcast. I am so excited about who's going to be on this podcast. For those who have committed, you are going to see corporate leaders truly that are working, living, breathing the uncompromised lifestyle. You're going to be meeting corporate leaders who've already made the decision years ago of how they were going to handle the whole social climate, our cultural climate, how they're going to handle people, how they were going to pour back into our communities. To live this uncompromised life, there's a boldness that you need. You can't do it without being bold. And part of what they live is the fact that they understand that there is a balance between having to be corporate, or they've chosen to say, you know what, the other balance that I choose to have is to be bold. One reason they have said yes to being interviewed on this podcast, because they are ready to share the adversities, the ups, the downs that they have gone through, to let the younger generation know that life has not been perfect. There are detours that sometimes you have to take, but all of it is a perfect plan, and it builds a story, and they wouldn't be where they are today without that kind of path or journey that they've had to take. And there's loads of stories that will be told in order to know that life is not perfect, and part of you becoming better at what you're going to do, and part of you becoming a more productive professional, is you're able to embrace the adversities in your life. There's some kind of fire that ignites in a person when they are hearing the testimony of another. This podcast is going to be for the small business leader. It's going to be for corporate leaders. It's going to be for the entrepreneur. It's going to be for those who are thinking of opening up a business. It's going to be for that woman who said, you know what, I thought I would never be able to make it to the top tier chief executive offices of my company, but that's where I'm headed. It's going to be for every stage of a generation. It's going to be for Gen Z, Gen Xers, millennials. This podcast is for everyone. It is going to be exciting. It is going to be a place of trust. It's going to be a place of safety. It's going to be a place where we truly can come together as a community and uplift, exalt, and help one another. So yes, welcome to the Uncompromised podcast. I am your host, Lisa Gardner.